This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Next on the 5 o'clock report.
It's just the worst case scenario for anybody.
Gather your family and pray.
Ripping off of things and flying all around and crashing against the buildings.
We have the best air traffic controllers. That kind of expertise deserves a paycheck.
The founders of our nation gave us a gift that we get to elect our representatives.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Family Life News anchor Sarah Harnish. A Category 5 hurricane sounds like this. That video recorded from the safety of a concrete hospital as people inside were hunkered down. Hurricane Melissa is cutting across Jamaica at this hour with 150-mile-an-hour winds aimed at Montego Bay. Meteorologist Matt Boylan.
It's just the worst case scenario for anybody. You don't know what's going on right now until tomorrow.
Jamaica took a direct hit this afternoon. By wind speed, Melissa was the most intense hurricane landfall in 90 years and is the third most powerful hurricane in modern history. Prime Minister Andrew Holness had a word for the 3 million people waiting it out.
Wherever you are, I encourage you to gather your family and pray for protection, for calm, and for each other, trusting that God, who has seen Jamaica through every storm, will carry us safely through this one too.
Paula Schiffer is daughter of a missionary team in Western Jamaica called Follow the Source. Her 70-year-old parents, Don and Elaine, are hunkered down in a cement building with metal windows on the mission campus.
Mom was telling me that she can hear zinc ripping off of things and flying all around and crashing against the buildings. And they haven't been able to kind of even outside at all to kind of see what's ripping off, what's flying. They have no idea. But super thankful that to this extent they've been safe.
The eye of the hurricane just crossed 20 miles from the ministry, putting them in the cone of the harshest winds on the island.
They told me consistently, even when I talked to them an hour and a half ago, they said, we can feel the prayers of God's people. So keep them coming.
They're not through it yet, but Paula says if given a choice, they'd sit through a Category 5 hurricane all over again.
You know, it's interesting because what they would tell you if they could talk to you right now, and this is one of the things that my mom said to me, was it's worth it. It's worth it. Anything that you do for Jesus is worth it.
Hurricane Melissa strikes Montego Bay next and then on to Cuba, likely as a Category 4 storm tonight. President Trump is in Asia today. He spent the better part of the morning getting to know Japan's new prime minister.
The first female prime minister in the history of Japan.
CBS's Nancy Cordes.
They signed an agreement to work together to extract critical rare earth minerals. It's the third such agreement Trump has signed since China threatened to restrict access to its own rare earths. And China processes more than 90% of the world's supply.
There has been another U.S. military strike on alleged drug traffickers. CBS's Michael Wallace.
In a post on X, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the strikes in the eastern Pacific Ocean killed 14 suspected drug traffickers. The U.S. military has now killed at least 57 alleged traffickers in the Pacific and the Caribbean. Hegseth says narco-terrorists have killed more Americans than al-Qaeda, and they will be hunted and killed.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy gave a pep talk to air traffic controllers nationwide on day 28 of the government shutdown. More than 1,000 flights are delayed so far today because there aren't enough controllers.
We have the best air traffic controllers, the best trained, the smartest people in our airspace controlling it. That kind of work, that kind of dedication, that kind of expertise deserves a paycheck.
The sky an issue, but so is food. Shyla Ulrich is CEO of the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank. She tells CBS.
People are scared. It's a moment where people don't know and understand what's about to happen, whether or not they'll get those benefits should the government open back up or when.
The Trump administration is facing legal action from a group of Democratic states as millions are set to lose SNAP food assistance this weekend. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
Republicans are not demanding anything, literally nothing. All we want is to reopen the government.
Democrats want a discussion on health care to make sure benefits are not lost. And obesity rates are dropping in the U.S., but it's not the gym that's making the difference.
A self-reported Gallup poll shows for the first time in more than 15 years, obesity rates in the U.S. have fallen from almost 40% in 2022 to 37% today. That's an estimated 7.6 million fewer obese adults. The same poll reports 15% of women and just under 10% of men are on GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic, more than double the number who said they used them last year. I'm Jim Roop.
Still to come on the 5 o'clock report, the governor's mansion is back open for dinner. Early voting numbers are in New York, and Pennsylvania considers more regulation of cannabis. Those stories after weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, low temperatures, upper 20s to mid-30s, frosty and foggy in some areas late. For tomorrow, mostly sunshine in New York State, fading sunshine in Pennsylvania with high temperatures in the lower 50s. Rain will overspread areas south of I-80 in Pennsylvania later Wednesday night, spreading across the entire region by Thursday morning. Thursday will be wet and breezy with high temperatures in the upper 40s to the middle 50s.
Thank you, Kevin. Checking the stories making news where you live across New York and Pennsylvania. Victory Lap, the Pennsylvania governor's residence, is back open for the first time since an arson attack last April in Harrisburg. Governor Josh Shapiro welcomed guests at a state dinner Monday in the once blackened room, honoring 17 Pennsylvanians who've made a lasting difference in their community. Among them, Ty Holmes in Scranton for his work for the Northeast Pennsylvania Youth Shelter. Katie Wisnowski of Tunkhannock, who launched Code Red to help teens with free feminine products. And Tataboline Enos of Warren County, honored for being founder and CEO of the PA Wild Center to revitalize recreation economy across 13 counties in western Pennsylvania. The governor's dining room restored and filled last night with those doing good. New numbers show early voting in parts of upstate New York are at a record pace. 5,000 people turned out in Onondaga County on Monday. That's 1,300 more than 2021 and 1,400 more than 2019. Political activist Bunny Pound says it's good, but not what it could be.
The numbers mean that we still have a lot of apathy and complacency within the body of Christ. I always say the founders of our nation gave us a gift that we get to elect our representatives, and it truly is a stewardship issue.
Pounds runs a nonprofit called Christians Engaged that gives people of faith tools to vote. A bill that would ban for-profit hospice organizations in New York is on Governor Kathy Hochul's desk. That story from Family Life's Mark Webster.
Yeah, supporters of the bipartisan bill gathered in Albany yesterday, calling on Hochul to sign the bill that would halt creation of for-profit hospice organizations. The Hospice Care Integrity and Oversight Act would not only block new for-profit hospices, but also bar existing for-profits from increasing their capacity, while grandfathering in the two that currently exist in New York. The bill's backers say hospice care should be all about offering comfort and dignity to patients, not maximizing profits, which they say leads to lower quality care. Mark Webster, Family Life News.
Pennsylvania is considering a cannabis control board to better regulate the controversial marijuana industry. State Senator Dan Laughlin says this board would set uniform safety standards for unregulated cannabis products.
If you have a board that's dedicated to this, that we give the authority to promulgate regulations. If a minor tweak needs made to something, they can do it in a week instead of 2 years.
Laughlin says gas stations, vape shops, and convenience stores are selling unregulated marijuana products with no age restrictions.
The gray area is if you derive a product from a legal hemp-based product, you can concentrate the THCA, which is ever so slightly different than THC, and you can turn it into very potent cannabis. Basically, with a wink and a nod, call it hemp.
The senator says his legislation is not about legalizing recreational marijuana. It's about cleaning up the system the state currently has. Next at 5, last month we told you about the little-known art and sport of indoor kite flying. Mike Stulligros of Walton, New York, is one of the best in the world at it. He sat down with our own Mark Webster. Let's listen in.
How did it go in China?
It was fantastic. There were 60 competitors from 14 countries, and I ended up placing second.
Tell me a little bit more about this. This is the second World Indoor Kite Championships. Where do they hold it?
It was in the badminton facility from the whatever Olympic Games that Chinese put on, whatever the most recent Summer Olympics was.
Okay, so it's an Olympic class facility you had to work in.
Oh, yeah. Nice high ceilings, which was good. Plenty of space to fly.
Recap for us, for those who might have missed our first chat together. Tell us a little bit more about indoor kite flying. It does seem a little counterintuitive.
Yeah, they're very lightweight kites. Mine, for example, weighs 9 grams, which is equivalent of a penny and a nickel. And then the wind comes from you moving and manipulating the lines. So depending on what the kite is and what you're doing, you might have to move quite a lot. And other times you just let the thing glide for effect in that part of the routine.
Mm-hmm. The average person outdoors flying the kite they bought down at the store, they're just flying it up there, and that's about it. But you're doing a whole lot more with it, aren't you?
Yeah, we do routines to music. So we're judged in part on how well the routine goes with the music. So if it's going fast or slow or there's a break in the music, you want the kite to show that as well.
Sounds almost a little bit like Olympic rhythmic gymnastics or something like that, where it's kind of art, kind of science.
Yeah, it's very much like that. In fact, we call it a ballet for our performance aspect of it. In the competition, there were actually 2 routines that I had to do. One was called the competition routine, which was created technically on how well I did perform the skills. And the other was the performance routine, where I was judged on how well it went along with the music, how nice the routine was. And then the 2 scores are averaged.
It sounded like it was quite a spectacle. A lot of pomp, a lot of ceremony that went into this event as well.
Oh, yeah. The opening ceremony was real impressive. They started off with the athletes marching out by country, but they've got 30-foot tall jumbotrons behind you with different displays. You've got performers, dancers, martial arts people doing routines under the lights, lasers, and the whole deal with dancers behind them. It was really amazing.
You can subscribe, listen to, and share Hometown Heroes and all of Family Life's original podcasts at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at familylife.org.
Have you ever driven on a highway on a very dark night in the heavy rain and you couldn't quite see the lane markings? Hi, I'm Rob West with the Faith and Finance Minute. That's a scary feeling. When you can't see the reference points you normally see, you're not sure if you're in your lane or even where the side of the road is. Money works the same way. Managing money without a budget or a cash flow plan is like driving when you can't see the lane markings. You lose the guideposts that help you steer wisely. Just as you need clear markers when you're driving, you need them in your finances to stay the course and avoid costly detours. The FaithFi app provides you with those markers, and you can get a budget started free today at faithfi.com by clicking app. That's faithfi.com. Connect with a certified Kingdom advisor who's been trained to deliver financial advice that aligns with your Christian values by visiting our website, faithfi.com.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock report, think you got something on grandma? Well, think again. We've got one grandmother that no grandkid can catch. That story after one last look at weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. Our cool, crisp, dry weather will continue for another night and day, but changes are on the way. Low pressure moving up the eastern seaboard, unrelated directly to powerful Hurricane Melissa hitting Jamaica. This system moving up the eastern seaboard, though, will be a rainmaker here with some wind. The focus will be later Wednesday night through Thursday into Thursday night. For the night tonight, mainly clear, low temperatures, upper 20s to mid-30s, frosty and foggy in some areas late. For tomorrow, mostly sunshine in New York State, fading sunshine in Pennsylvania with high temperatures ranging in the lower 50s. Then rain will overspread areas south of I-80 in Pennsylvania later Wednesday night, spreading across the entire region by Thursday morning. Thursday will be wet and breezy with high temperatures in the upper 40s to the middle 50s.
Thank you, Kevin. Finally, at 5, it can be tough for grandparents to keep up with active grandkids, but not in Natalie Grabaw's case. It's likely the other way around. The New Jersey grandma is 80, but sure doesn't feel or act that old.
How old do you feel? I don't know, but I don't feel 80. I can't put a number on it.
Try this number instead, 11. That's the number of Ironman competitions she's completed so far. She only got started 20 years ago by learning how to swim at age 59. This month, she completed the grueling Ironman World Championship in Hawaii. 60 younger competitors dropped out. but not Grandma.
I've always been competitive. You're either born with a real competitive spirit or you're not.
And that's the world that we live in for Tuesday, the 28th of October. I'm Sarah Harnish, and this is the 5 o'clock report on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.